I never know how to start these things. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Zip It Up Pod. You with us tonight? Let's see. We got us a buddy joining us again. Welcome back, Brandon. Want to say hello to the folks?
What's going on, everybody?
Brandon is in the pod.
We said it that we were going to do it again. We're doing it again.
Yep, and I have a feeling this won't be the last time either.
I don't think so.
We're going to keep doing it again and again and again.
Keep on doing it, man.
Well, welcome back. Got a pretty fun episode planned tonight, I think, with Brickyard 400. Crown Jewel just happening this past week. We will discuss some really important things that happened, including a big win from Bubba Wallace. We'll talk about that shortly.
Yes, sir.
We'll look at how the Hendrick guys did. We'll talk a little bit of the in-season challenge, I think. Now that that's over and it's in the past, I want to get your thoughts on that before this episode concludes. We will discuss the NASCAR playoff format. That's a hot topic right now.
Very hot topic.
So we're going to give our opinion on that. And of course, we're going to preview the next race, which is going to be Iowa coming up this weekend. They've only raced there one time in the Cup Series, so we don't have a whole lot to go off of, and we're still going to make some picks later in this episode. So
good old short track racing.
Yeah. Oh, I love short track racing.
For sure.
Can't wait. It's going to be a good one.
Oh, yeah.
Before we get into any NASCAR talk, let's have a drink. I know you probably got something over there. Is that correct?
A little boring tonight, a little bland.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. We're going.
You don't have anything, do you?
I got a Stanley full of water.
Oh, kudos to you, bro.
Some good old H2O. I work outside, man. I got to hydrate at night, bro. I got to do it all again in the morning.
Especially this time of year in Central Florida, huh?
Dude, it is. Man, I get in the truck and turn it on after lunchtime. We're going to lunch, whatever, man. It says 120 in there.
Oh, my
I'm like,
God.
golly, man, we got to do something about this.
Dude, it's been brutal these past couple days.
Too hot.
I hope there's an end in sight to that heat wave.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Usually what that means here in Florida is a hurricane, so let's hope that doesn't happen. But
yeah, right around the bend.
Yep.
Well, you can still toast with your water. Tonight I'm just having my usual moonshine. I'm back to the banana-flavored moonshine.
Nice.
So we're going to toast to two things. First of all, I have to shout out my wife. It was her birthday yesterday, so this is kind of like a happy belated birthday, honey, kind of thing.
Happy birthday, Kristen.
This episode will go out to her, and then also I'm pretty sure it's a big week for you, Brandon. You want to fill the listeners in on what's happening maybe in your life?
It is. Olivia and I are tying the knot on Saturday.
Hey,
well, cheers to that.
Going out to Brandon and Olivia. Big week for them.
Cheers, everyone.
Getting married on Saturday. Congrats, brother.
Thank you, bro.
Are you going to get cold feet?
What's funny is I've been watching How I Met Your Mother, and it's the last couple episodes, and they're over there, and then Robin's getting cold feet.
Well, I'm looking forward to celebrating you on Saturday, man. Cheers, dude.
Oh, thank you, man. I'm happy that you guys are able to be a part of our day.
Yes, sir. Well, let's talk some NASCAR.
Let's do it.
And by the way, for those that watch, I don't know who would watch me talk on YouTube, but if you do, this shirt, brand new, love it. Don't care for the driver much, but I had to get the Cinnamon Toast Crunch shirt. So
fire shirt, bro.
Rocking tonight. I love it. I've already can you tell it's already a little bit older?
A little bit.
That many times.
Like it.
Doesn't look fresh anymore, but it is what it is.
It's all good.
All right, so coming out of the Brickyard 400, this was our third Crown Jewel race of the season already.
Yep.
And we had a big-time winner. So we're going to touch on a few of the hot topics coming out of that race, and I'll also ask for some of your input. But we got to begin with Bubba Wallace. He wins a Crown Jewel race, which is quite impressive.
He was dominant all day too, man.
He was. He earned it.
He did. He did
not just fall into his lap.
We thought it was. There was a long green flag run there at the end. We thought it was his for sure.
Yeah.
Broke out.
Yeah, so we had the red flag late in the race, couple cautions, couple restarts that he was going to have to hold off the defending champ of this race, Kyle Larson, who is in the Hendrick camp. So I was obviously pulling for Larson at the end. But, I mean, Bubba earned this one, man. He held off Larson both restarts. He looked amazing. I really thought when the flags came out late, the one for the weather, I was like, my goodness, this is gonna like have it stripped away from Bubba. Like he's gonna
Yeah.
lose it right here. And he
Yep.
didn't. Like
Nope.
he stayed the course. He
They had
kept
that
that
car.
car out front. He
Yep.
had great restarts. I mean, I'm super impressed by what I saw from Bubba on Sunday.
Also, he broke his 100 race winless streak.
Yeah, it was right at 100, wasn't it?
Yep, he broke his 100 race winless streak, and I mean, just to see Bubba finally get a win, I thought it was absolutely awesome. I'm always pulling for that 23 car when I see him on the track, man, and that 2311 as a team as well. I'm always pulling for them in one way or the other. So it was cool to see Bubba get a win.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that the first time you came on the pod, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm always looking out for them for whoever's driving for 2311. I know they got Riley Herbst now, and they got Tyler Reddick, and of course Bubba. But just to see Bubba get it done, I was pulling for him the whole race. I saw he qualified good,
Yeah.
and I was like, dang, he's on the front row. This
Yeah.
could be Bubba's week. It's a big race. You never know. But it was cool to see him finally get it done. Actually, I don't know if I told you this or not, but when I was scrolling through Hard Rack before the race, Bubba was the first one I chose at plus 3,000, and
Yeah.
I'll just put $1 on it. I mean, I
Yeah.
won $33.
Why not?
It's plus money, but I was like, hey, it could be Bubba's week. I had a feeling I was right.
Yeah. So I like a couple things you pointed out there. He started second, so he was on the front row to begin the race. He had speed all weekend.
Yep.
And we have seen that from him and from that team because even Reddick brings speed, but they just haven't seemed to put full races together. But this past week, the 23 car did.
Yeah.
And, to be honest, so I'm in a fantasy NASCAR league kind of on the side, and we make 2 picks every week.
Mm-hmm.
I went with Briscoe as my first round pick. That got me the pole.
And he was
Second round pick. Yeah, the second
and
round
that's
pick.
his hometown track too.
I know. That's another reason that sold me on him taking him first round.
Yep.
But my second round pick, when it became my turn, I was torn between Bubba or Ryan Preece. And so I was looking at some of their past history, and I ended up going with Ryan Preece just because I feel like he was for sure going to get a better finish. I felt like if Bubba was off, he was going to be way off.
Right.
I feel like when Preece is off, he can still probably get a top 15, maybe top 10 out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, go figure. I passed on Bubba. He wins the race, but Ryan Preece actually still finished fourth, which was crazy.
He did.
Out of nowhere. So, I mean, that was still really good for where I was picking last week in that league. But
and if I remember correctly, Priest it wasn't an easy race for him. He battled back from a lap down, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he was never in the running, and I looked at the end, and he's fourth.
Yep.
I could not believe it. I was super it hurt to see Bubba win after passing on, but to see a top 5 from Priest was that was cool. But going back to Bubba, like you said, this was a big crown jewel win for him, and he snapped a 100 race winless streak. This was only the 3rd win of his Cup Series career.
Yep.
And I made a note that the other 2 previous wins, they were in playoff races, but he was not a playoff driver during those wins. So not as much pressure when you're not racing for a championship.
Right.
This one, a lot more pressure, not only because it's a crown jewel, but now it locks him into a playoff spot for the playoffs, which are coming up in about 4 or 5 weeks. Huge win for Bubba.
Which he's never been locked into the playoffs either. He's always got in on points.
Correct. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. That's
the first time. This is the first time that he's been locked into the playoffs via win. Ever since they started doing the whole playoff format.
Yep. Yeah. I just want to say, like, good for Bubba. I'm not a huge Bubba fan. I was on the pod a few weeks ago, just kind of saying he could be on the hot seat with that team, especially not knowing 2311 status going forward. I'm not sure how those rides are going to work out, but he certainly is probably on a hotter seat than Tyler Reddick.
Mm-hmm.
But what I saw this past week from Bubba is like good for him, man. He impressed the heck out of me.
In my opinion, changes everything with the whole whole outlook on his future and the team. Because I know he struggles with all the outside noise, and he's in his head a lot. So it was I hope that this kind of snaps him out of it, because I know for a while he was thinking do I even want to do this stuff anymore?
Yeah, right. Yep. Yeah, maybe we've seen him turn a corner.
We'll see.
Especially now that he's got a kid. Now that he's experienced kissing the bricks with his kid in that photo, that probably gives some added motivation.
Yeah, that was a cool picture too
Yeah, it was
that they had at
special
the end.
moment.
Yeah, for sure. Anybody who wins the Brickyard, man, you get to kiss them bricks.
Yeah.
It's an awesome feeling for sure.
By the way, did you know Denny kissed the bricks on Sunday? Because he's a team owner.
He's a T, yeah, because he won with the team.
I don't know if I could have done that.
It'd have been weird, right?
I would have had to have retired already
Yeah,
before I do it as a team owner.
yeah, because
That's
that's the
just
only
me.
one that Denny needs to complete
Yeah,
the
the
to
career
win
grand.
all the crown jewels.
Yeah, it's the
Yep,
only one he's missing as a driver.
yep.
And yeah, I think it's kind of a bad omen maybe for him to kiss those
Maybe now
bricks.
he's never gonna get it.
I know. Or if he does, that kissing gonna be as special anymore. I don't know. That's just me though.
We'll see.
All right. Next topic was the in-season challenge comes to an end. There's a lot of people that are probably super excited about that. Um, it was fun while it lasted. It was like a month or so that it lasted.
Yeah.
But the winner ends up being Ty Gibbs. He is the winner of the inaugural bracket challenge. And even though he won this bracket challenge, he still hasn't won a cup race yet.
Not yet.
and he beat the number 32 seed in the bracket challenge final. So, I mean, I don't know how much you want to make of it, but I'm not impressed by the bracket challenge, but I did enjoy the hoopla. It comes across as kind of a joke, though. I think I don't know. I want to hear your thoughts on the in season challenge briefly.
I see where you're coming from, but
Yeah,
at the same time, I think that it kind of gave the drivers an incentive. I mean, it's $1 million prize, a trophy, whatever. But I mean, I think it's kind of coming around to all of sports that there's some sort of in season something now.
yeah, true.
So
NBA does that, right?
yeah. So I'm
Yeah,
thinking, that NASCAR is trying to, just kind of stay with the times, if you will.
yeah,
Trying to, I don't know, maybe even try to intrigue people to that who maybe walked away from NASCAR for a little while. Maybe try to get them back, or I don't know. But I mean, I thought it was cool. Definitely unexpected winner, and Ty Dillon himself, the 32 seed. That was crazy as well,
yeah.
and making it all the way to the championship
Right.
round. But I mean, I thought it was cool. I thought it gave him some more incentive. I think that maybe that the racing was a little bit more intense as opposed to if it would have been if there was no in-season challenge and people are just trying to race for points as opposed for prize money.
Yeah,
So it was the first season. It was the first year that they did that. So we'll see how it continues and plays out.
yeah. No, I think I think I might have come off a little wrong because I personally enjoyed it. I loved seeing the headlines on the guys that don't usually make the headlines.
Right.
Like you said, there was incentive for drivers like Ty Dillon, the 32 seed. Like, when do we ever see him racing for position hard? Or if he is, like, we never see it because we, the fans, don't get to watch that battle. But I
Right.
keep thinking back to his little bump on the last turn at Sonoma when he bumped Bowman out of the way for that spot, that win, for that matchup that week. Like, that was huge. That was
Yeah.
fun, and it
Yeah.
wouldn't have happened without the in-season bracket challenge. I
No, there
like
was just
little gimmicky things like this,
yeah.
um, but a lot of fans are turned off by it for some reason. Like, it's cool. Let Ty Gibbs enjoy the win. Let Ty Dillon have his month. Like, I think that's amazing for his career. I don't know where he ends up after this because of it. Maybe nowhere, but it was fun to see him make headlines and drop quotes after quote each race.
Yeah.
So it's just a fun thing that helps get us through the summer months, I think.
Agreed.
Yeah. We'll see if
Because
it's
we're all
down.
because we're all just kind of waiting around for the playoffs to start anyway. So
Mhm.
like you said, I do think having an end season something is and some sort of incentive for the drivers as well. Just kind of keeps the energy and the mojo going.
Right. Yeah. I think they'll keep it around, and I mean, shoot, you don't have to participate. You don't have to fill out a bracket.
Yeah,
Let the boys have fun though. Let them race for something. All right. Next one. This could be a big topic. I know that I have quite the response planned, so I'm actually going to throw this one your way first. But I'm going to lead in with it with some info. So we're going to talk the NASCAR playoff format. The reason this is a hot topic is because recently in the media, Chase Elliott, the sport's most popular driver, he came out and said that he prefers to have a season-long championship, which for any NASCAR newbie, like that's not what we do right now. That's what they did back in the day, though.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we have a playoff format, like most sports do.
Yep.
But Chase prefers to have like a season-long championship. Whoever's the best from race 1 to race 36, that should be the champion.
Mhm.
Now, backing him up was Mark Martin, who is pretty famous. He's been pushing hard for this. That's kind of what he's known for nowadays. Mark Martin was a great driver years ago, but now he's still relevant in the sport because he's pushing for this playoff format to go away. And then Dale Jr., he tweeted a few days ago saying that he can't argue with what Chase Elliott said. So we have some very popular names within the sport that are saying that they kind of agree with a full season championship would be the route to go in order to decide champions. But we also have to remember that NBC is the one that hosts the playoffs and the championship, and that channel, that network. I mean, they're the ones that are writing the checks, and so I'd imagine they probably have a bigger voice than some of these legendary drivers
Right.
that are making the rounds right now. So I wanted to ask you that if you could design a playoff format or like come up with one, like what would be maybe what you would do? Do you want a season long format like back in the day, like what's being brought up right now? Do you want the current format, but maybe a few tweaks here and there? Or maybe do you want to go back to the chase for the cup where there was like 10 drivers and 10 races, and whoever gets the most points in those 10 races, like not just have it come down to one race, you know?
Right.
I wanted to get your thoughts on maybe what you want to see for a championship or a playoff going forward.
So I do like the playoffs. I like the playoff. You know what they have going on now. But I do agree with Elliot. I think that you know from race 1 to race 36, maybe don't even base it on points. Maybe base it off of overall, finishing position, or wins. In my opinion, if you win the most in a season, you were the best that year. Correct? I mean,
Yeah,
you I understand, the stage points and getting points to try to, get that playoff point for winning the stage and getting, points and finishing well. But, back in the day, man, you were racing and you didn't have a stage caution to try to reset everything. And, you were just praying for that caution to get reset. So, do we have a guest appearance here?
right. Yo, Nate, what up?
He said, "Hi, Mr. Daniel."
What's good, man?
Hey, Dada, Mr. Daniel are having a conversation about some NASCAR.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're talking about the race car boys.
Race car boys.
Yeah, I love you, buddy. All right.
See you, bro.
But no, I do like back in the day, man. They were just all about who, you were the best, man. If you finished the best and you won the most races, that's who was a champion at the end of the year. So to try to change anything in the playoffs, I don't know that I would. I think more or less I would want to go back to who's the best throughout the whole year. But I think again, going back to kind of like the end season challenge, I think it's more to potentially draw fans, and have that playoff type atmosphere for NASCAR.
Yeah,
Because it's not a football team, it's not a basketball team, because they never had any sort of playoffs or anything like that back in the day for NASCAR drivers.
yeah,
So no, I wouldn't go and change anything with the NASCAR format in regards to postseason.
Race cars.
Now, if they're going to go ahead and continue with this, continue with it. But if you guys aren't happy with it, then do something about it and go back to the way it was, or come up with some different format.
yeah. So I'll go ahead and tell you that I love the playoff format. As much as I would love to see a full season championship be awarded, because I feel like that's kind of fair. And as a Chase Elliott fan, like he probably have some more championships. To be honest with you, he's that consistent of a driver.
Yep.
But I really love having a playoff format. If I'm being honest with you, just about every sport has it, and I'm not saying I want to be like every sport, but there's a reason every sport has a playoffs. It's entertainment. We're in the business of entertaining people on TV and getting people to the racetracks. If it was a season-long championship, it would change the way some of these guys drive. Like a lot of these guys would not go for wins like they are, and a lot of
Because
them race for points.
right, right,
And, and
and honestly, I think that if you get a win, then you're locked into the playoffs. You can chill the rest of the year, So
yeah,
and
yeah,
just try to finish races and not really be competitive. But if you are not if you don't win and that locks you into the playoffs and you're fighting for points like you said. But I
yeah,
just think that those drivers who have multiple wins or at least one win, maybe they just kind of take a back seat to everyone else.
right, right, yeah. So like I said, I like the playoff format. What I would change would be the championship. And so I feel like I'm gonna get long winded. So people, bear with me on this. I took a lot of notes. I've been thinking a lot about this. So here's what we need. Okay, I would adjust the championship format. We need 5 races to determine a champ. I don't think one race is enough. It's a very small sample size. You can lose a lot on one day. You can win a lot on one day. But I don't think it's super fair. So I think 5 races to determine a champ. Let the playoffs begin with the 10 races, just as they are now, but maybe scale it back, maybe 12, maybe 10 drivers. I'm flexible. I don't care how many drivers are allowed. 16's a lot, but that's up for other people to determine. However, I want to start with 10 races in the playoffs. Maybe we can eliminate drivers as we go. Like, let's eliminate drivers until we get it down to 5 drivers with 5 races to go. Maybe that means like whoever finishes last each race gets picked off and eliminated. Like first race, if you finish last, you're gone from the playoffs.
Yeah.
However, the flaw with that one is that it would only take one bad race to kill an entire season.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a flaw. And again, I'm not so concerned about figuring that one out. Someone else can. What I have figured out is the championship. The championship round will be called the Fast Five. Okay. The 5 fastest drivers get to race to be the fastest at the 5 remaining tracks on the schedule. So 5 races left, 5 drivers racing for a championship. In those 5 races, let's include each of the 4 styles of track which are in the championship round. So you got one short track, one super speedway, one road course, and then let's have 2 mile and a halves because that's probably the most common track. That's the most fair track to go determine who is the best. So let's put 2 mile and a halves along with each of the other styles of tracks. Okay. I've already figured out the schedule.
There you
Okay.
go.
Here's our last 5 races. It begins at Phoenix, which used to host the championship, but Phoenix is a mile and a half. So let's start there. Then let's go to Coda. It's a road course. It's in Texas. Weather's going to be fine. Then let's go to Talladega. Super speedway race. But you got to have it in there because really good drivers really show up at Talladega. And
Mm-hmm.
also, it's in Alabama. It's in the South. Weather's going to be fine. Then we go to Martinsville. It's a short track. And in many years past, it's always been the lead up race to the championship anyway. So we can keep it there in that slot as well. And then the last one, the finale would be Homestead next year. It's another mile and a half track. And that last race, though, it can be a rotation.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you can put Charlotte there one year. You can put Las Vegas there one year. You can keep Homestead. If you want to throw Phoenix into the rotation, that's fine. But that's what I would do for a championship round. I just think it gives a larger sample size for a driver to go earn it. You have to be good at each style of track. And I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you have a bad race at Talladega, well, you still have the short track. You still got a mile and a half after that. We throw a road course in there because that is part of NASCAR's history is racing on the road courses. So I think that that's a fairer way to go about it. It's a longer. I think it would still be very entertaining. It would still feel like a mini playoff. It would really highlight the 5 fastest drivers who have earned their spot in the championship round. And I mean, it'd be a fun month, a long month to race for a championship, but you're going and earning it. And yeah, I think we'd really get a justified winner instead of just having the one race every year. Like
Right.
Homestead Miami, let's be honest, Chase is pushing for an entire season points championship because he's not good at Homestead Miami.
Right.
And that's where the champion is going to be determined next year.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a better shot at Phoenix, and Phoenix just got stripped away of the championship race.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand where Chase is coming from. Like, if he's going to win championships anytime soon, well, he's probably going to have to get a lot better at Homestead, Miami, or he can start pushing for this season-long format, which other drivers are doing as well. So that's where I stand on the championship and the playoffs. Oh, I earned that sip.
Yeah, you did.
I think I need to rip one real quick too. A pouch. A pouch.
No, man, I agree. I do like that format, though. That would be a cool format if that were to be implemented. That would be the Daniel Kozy format.
Hey, I just need one of NASCAR's top guys to hear that pitch.
Right?
So when y'all see it on social media, push it out for me.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, like, nothing is ever going to make everyone happy.
Yeah.
I feel like the NASCAR fans are very split right now anyway, like probably right down the middle. So once we make one change, you're still going to piss off half of the fan base.
Yeah.
And so it just is what it is. But it is fun to talk about at this point because we don't have the in-season bracket to talk about. The crown jewel is over for now. So what else do we talk about in NASCAR?
Right.
And why is my remote not working? No, turn it off. That's why. All right, one last topic before we go into looking at our Hendrick drivers, and this will be very quick. MLB Speedway Classic coming up this weekend. Are you a big baseball fan at all?
Yeah, I mean, it's tougher to sit there and watch a game on TV as opposed to actually being there. But yes, I do like baseball.
Okay, I can get with that. I think a lot of people can get with that.
Yeah.
Now, if there was one baseball game to go to, this might be the game to go to coming up this weekend.
That would
You've
be
heard
quite an
about
experience.
the Classic?
I have.
Okay, good. So this
And if I'm
weekend,
not mistaken, your Braves are playing it.
yes, they are. And why didn't I wear my hat again? I think I did that a few. Well, first of all, they're terrible this year,
Yeah, they're not doing
so
so
I'm not repping them very much. But yeah, I did like the purple going with the purple. So
there you go.
yeah, this week my beloved Atlanta Braves are playing against the Cincinnati Reds, and this is going to be on Saturday at 7:15, and it's going to be at Bristol Motor Speedway. So this is a very big day for not only MLB but NASCAR. They're going to be part of possibly breaking a single game attendance record.
Mm-hmm.
I think the regular season attendance record for an MLB game is like 84,000, and it's been confirmed that there's been 85,000 purchased tickets already for this game. So they're well on their way. They just need the people to actually show up.
Right.
And there's going to be pregame concerts all day. So Tim
Mm-hmm.
McGraw, Pitbull, Jake Owen going to be tearing it up. It's going to be like an entire full day festival out there in the hills of Tennessee, getting ready for a baseball game at a NASCAR racetrack. Pretty cool. I'm interested to see how it goes. However, I am a Braves fan. We've been terrible. The Reds are no good. So it's not like two great teams are going to be playing. And the Braves just lost Ronald Acuna yesterday, who is, I mean, arguably, when he's healthy, he is maybe the best player in baseball. I know a
Yeah.
lot of people will take Ohtani right now, but Acuna does stuff that is just special.
Yeah.
He's a former MVP,
Yep.
but yeah, he will not be playing in that game, so that could hurt attendance between the two bad teams. Not having the best baseball player out there is going to hurt. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's going to be quite a show. I heard the pageantry is going to incorporate the 250th anniversary of the Navy, I'm pretty sure. So it should be a really cool pregame show that will be on TV. Are you going to be able to watch it all? Do you know? That's the day of your wedding.
That's the day of my wedding. It depends on what we end up doing afterwards.
You ain't going to have no time to have that TV on.
No.
All right.
But no,
I don't
I
even
mean,
know if
but
I
you
got any time to watch it.
Yeah, aren't you going to Monster Jam on Saturday?
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I knew I had something. Yep, exactly right. I'm glad you reminded me, bro.
hey, Zip It Up Pod. You see him out there over there at Kia Center. You know who it is.
Yeah. This shirt, probably. I'm wearing it everywhere I go right now. Yeah, I'm glad you told me that. So yeah, I'm gonna have to like rewatch that somehow later this weekend. Hopefully, not gonna replace a race with it though. But
Hopefully, rewatching the Braves win.
yeah, right. That doesn't look likely though. They are
No,
not good this year.
but just touching on that real quick, you would think that they would put a couple of the hotter MLB teams to play that game.
Yeah, and to be honest, like these two teams, I think they were picked because they showed so much potential. The Braves have won their division, I think, 7 years in a row. I could be wrong about that. They might have had a wild card in there, but they made the playoffs at
Yeah,
least 7 years in a row. They got a stacked team. They've just been underperforming. And the Cincinnati Reds, they were looking pretty good last year. Like
yeah,
if they could build off of their young age and their athleticism, like they should have had something this year. But also the region where they're playing the game is really close to Cincinnati and Atlanta. So
yeah,
grabbing fans from the southeast and bringing them together, kind of
yeah.
like, yeah, they were going to be able to sell the tickets anyway. So I
Makes
see
sense.
why they chose those two teams. It just stinks that it's this late in the season and now it looks like a game that's not going to mean much.
Yeah,
It's really just going to be a show.
right.
Yeah. Have you seen the uniforms or the hats? They came out with special uniforms and hats for the teams.
That's pretty cool. I
They
haven't seen them.
actually look
No.
really neat. The Braves still have their hat, but the bill is it's flames.
Oh, nice.
Looks like the
That's
old
pretty cool.
24. I got the wrong 24 car up there, but it looks like the 24 car. And then the Reds hat has their logo, and then they have like a checkered pattern
That's pretty
going
cool.
across the bill of their hat.
Nice.
And then each of the jerseys, like the names and numbers, are slanted, and they look like race style.
Cool.
I mean, yeah, it's going to look cool. I think everything's going to appear amazing on TV, but to be honest, in the grand scheme of things, the game won't matter too much, though.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. It'll be a spectacle, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all the hot topics that we want to touch on. I definitely have to get into how our teams did at the Brickyard. And when I say our teams, I mean like our 4 drivers for Hendrick Motorsports. If you want to bring up anybody else at the end, you can. But let's begin. I'll give the stats of each driver, how they did on Sunday. And then if you want to add one note to each, you're more than welcome to.
Okay.
But Larson, he was our best finisher, like I mentioned a few minutes ago when we were talking about Bubba. He was our best chance to win the race, but he started 13th. He scored stage points in all 3 stages. He ended up finishing second, and I thought he would have a little bit more for Bubba at the end on those. He had 2 restarts to try and get him and never could. So again, very impressed by Bubba. A little let down by Larson, but what did you think of Larson's race?
I thought it was, a typical Larson race.
Yeah,
He was, I mean, he didn't qualify the best, I'd say, but I mean, he just drove himself, through the field, and he just kind of was there all day long. I mean, the only person that I really thought that had anything for Bubba Wallace was Joey Logano.
yeah,
I thought that Larson, I thought that Team Hendrick gave Larson a strong car, but I didn't think that he had it enough in there to get her done.
agreed. Yeah, I
It's
think he
tough
probably.
to it's tough to repeat, especially at a track like that.
Yep, a crown jewel like that. I would agree. Like, I think he made more of that car than he was actually given. Like you
Agreed.
said,
Yeah,
I
for sure.
think he has become very good at Indy. I think he's a little underrated there still.
Yeah,
And unfortunately, we weren't able to see him do very much in IndyCar at that track. But in NASCAR, he's performing every time we go to the Brickyard.
yep.
Yeah, and he did come off of. He's been in a summer slump.
Mm-hmm.
Last week at Dover, he finished top 5.
Mm-hmm.
And this week, another strong top 5 performance. Like, there was never any reason to doubt the Larson number 5 team. Like, they are going to be championship contenders no matter what time of year it is, no matter where we go, they are going to race for the win.
Yep.
Um,
And
every
as
team
long
goes through a slump.
and as long as we have this format of playoffs where you win and you're locked in, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
He gonna win races, man.
Yep, he will. He'll wreck it trying to win it.
He don't care. He'll get her done
Nope.
one way or the other.
I'm surprised he didn't do that this week, though.
Yeah, me
All
too.
right.
He did have a couple scary moments, but he held on to
Did
her. Yep.
Well, on to Bowman. He was our next best finisher. He started 21st. He didn't score stage points in stage 1, but he did finish 6th in the second stage. And then he went on to finish 9th. And so I didn't think this was a great day for Bowman. I didn't think it was a bad day for Bowman. It was actually a quiet top 10 for him. And
Hmm.
I think that's probably what this team needs at this point. So what do you think about the 48 team on Sunday?
Um, to be honest with you, I thought that Bowman might have had the best Hendrick car. I
Yeah.
just don't think that Bowman is the best Hendrick driver. But I do think that Bowman had the strongest car out of everyone. Again, he just wasn't Kyle Larson behind the wheel.
Right. Yeah. Do you think if Larson had that 48 car, maybe he could have done something more?
I do think so because there was times that Bowman was up there and he was, hanging with everybody, potentially even, driving past everyone. But no, I definitely think, in my personal opinion, that out of the 400 cars, I thought that Bowman had the strongest car, just not the best driver.
That's a great observation, actually, because going back to my preview last week, obviously Bowman had a terrible record at the Brickyard in his past, and not all of the past has been at Hendrick, but still, even after having some time with our team, I don't think he even had a top 10 at the Brickyard. So I believe this was his best finish in a Brickyard 400. So I like that observation you just made there. Next was Chase Elliott. Now, Chase started 30th, and I actually watched qualifying. He was terrible, but you could tell that he kind of backed out of it. I think he was afraid if he overdrove it, he would end up like Denny Hamlin
Yep.
and wrecking the thing. So I was kind of glad he kept it conservative just to make sure that he would have decent car for Sunday. But starting that far back, you are behind the eight ball big time in a race like this. So he didn't score any stage points, and he went on to finish 13th. So not a good race from Chase. Before I give it over to you, I got two things. Number one, I was a little ticked off to see Denny Hamlin start about 9 spots behind Chase in a backup car and easily race up to Chase and pass him throughout the day. It took time, but Chase is just not good at Indy,
Hmm.
uh, and we have to be honest about that. He doesn't have a good career record at the Brickyard, but he did accomplish the goal of extending his streak this past week. So he's now got 22 straight top 20 finishes to begin the season, and so I mean, take that for what it's worth. He leaves on, I guess, a positive note to bring that thing home 13th somehow.
Yeah.
Would you?
I thought that Elliott, I thought he was just there.
Yeah,
I mean, he was never a contender. He wasn't, like you said, I think that he was just trying to finish the race, not as much as trying to really. I think he knew coming into the weekend that they weren't a contender, especially once they got the car on the track. But I don't think that he really ever thought that he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna drive this thing. We're gonna win this thing today." I think it was more or less just let's just finish this thing and not crash.
yeah. I think he did what Chase does best.
He
When he,
managed the race. That's what he did.
yeah, when he's not a great driver somewhere and he's not contending for a win, he's still probably gonna be very consistent and maximize their points for that day.
Yep.
So like they kept their point lead. That's another positive to leave with.
Yeah.
So it just is what it is.
Yep.
But last we got William Byron, and he looked strong throughout the day. He started sixth. He scored stage points in the first two stages, but then he finished 16th, and that was because he ran out of fuel late in the race. So he probably would have been a top 5 car if he doesn't run out of fuel. But what did you make of the 24 car on Sunday?
I mean, out of the four drivers or out of the four cars, I would definitely say that they were the second best. I don't think that Byron had the fastest car. I
Mhm.
think that he's just a better driver than Bowman is.
Yeah,
And I think that Byron, he ran, top 5, top 10 all day long,
yeah,
until unfortunately right there at the end, taking a gamble with fuel. But I think that that one more overtime start, I think Byron gets a top 5 finish.
yeah, yeah, probably. Um, and boy, he could have used that. But the positive for Byron is even with that bad finish, he actually still made up ground because he had a strong race. He made up ground in the point standing. So,
Yep.
yep, that's been tightened up. Let me go ahead and give the update on the current driver standings. So, Chase Elliott took over the points lead last week. This week, he leaves the Brickyard still in the points lead. He's got 726 points over the course of the season. But William Byron's right on his heels. He is only 4 points back. And then Kyle Larson is third in the points, and he's only 15 points back. And it's not just a it's not a three-way race anymore. Denny Hamlin has snuck into that picture.
Yep.
And he's only 20 points back. So we got 4 very strong teams, all within 20 points of each other. And I think about 4 or 5 races left to figure out this regular season championship. And then Bowman, as good a race as he had points-wise, we're not concerned about his driver standings. We're concerned about his playoff standings, which right now he is 15th in the playoff standings. And that's because Bubba won. Bubba jumps above him, knocks Bowman down a spot. But he is still plus 63 to that cut line. So he has to survive through Daytona to make the cutoff. Right now he's in a good spot, but if we get some new winners, it's still going to bump him down even
There's
further.
only, 3 more spots, right?
Yes, there's been 13 winners. Right now, only 3 drivers are getting in on points.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not catching Tyler Reddick, who is 1 spot above him.
Yeah.
So he really just needs to
get a win.
Stay adrift. Getting a win would settle everything.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't win, if he can go into Daytona with plus 50 or plus 60, he's probably locked in. All he has to do is pretty much start that race, and he will most likely get in.
You got to finish that race.
Yeah. Avoid trouble.
Yeah. Don't be in the back of the pack because when that big one comes.
He might be points racing.
Yep.
At Daytona. That's the point standing. So now it's time to get into our Iowa preview. And I'm going to give a lot of stats for this, of course. I got this on my phone. I didn't write any of it down. But the Cup Series has only been to Iowa one time. That was last year. And I think you're the one that told me Blaney won.
Yeah, Blaney won last year.
Okay, so I don't even remember that. But Blaney
I didn't either. I had to Google it.
What I did, because I didn't remember it, I Googled all the HMS guys. So for our Hendrick drivers, I'm not going to give how we've done as an organization. I'll just go through one by one to look at each driver specifically on how they did last year, beginning with Larson. So he won the pole for this race last year, but then he went on to finish 34th. However, he did lead 80 laps in the race. So we know if he can start up front, he'll be a factor. But like we mentioned a few minutes ago, he's got to keep that thing straight and not wreck it, and he'll be fine. He'll be in contention.
Yep.
So next we have Chase Elliott. He I don't know where he started last year, but he finished 3rd. So he's got a top 5, and he led 1 lap. Yep. I don't know what lap that was, but for what it's worth, we as a team led 81 laps.
It was probably a caution lap.
Probably pit cycle.
Yeah.
A meaningless lap.
Yep.
William Byron, he finished 2nd last year, so that's encouraging. Again, I don't remember how he did, but we know if our guys can get up front, they're usually good at staying up front, as good a drivers as those guys are. The key one here is Bowman last year. He started 33rd, but then he went on to finish 8th. So he got a top 10 at Iowa last year. That tells me that all 4 drivers are capable.
Yep.
Because we know it. Larson can do it. We know Byron can do it. We know Elliott can do it. Bowman is the question mark, but he drove that thing from 33rd to 8th last year. Again, I don't know if it was just pure speed or maybe there was some race strategy involved. Whatever it is, they got smart enough people over there. They've got fast enough equipment. It's just all about Alex Bowman if he can deliver.
Right.
So we will wait and see if that's the case. So let's talk the betting lines, and then we'll make our predictions. That sound good?
Yes, sir.
Betting lines. I got from the Hard Rock app about 10 minutes ago. So these are very accurate. Larson is the favorite to win this race at Iowa. He is plus 450. And to give you reference, the second best odds belong to Christopher Bell. He's plus 475. So right there, neck and neck pretty much. But our other Hendrick drivers include William Byron. He's got the 5th highest odds at plus 900. Chase Elliott is the 6th highest odds at plus 1100. And then Alex Bowman, he's got the 17th highest odds. He's plus 4,000 this week. And it's been a very long time since we've seen a Hendrick car plus 3,000.
Mm-hmm.
Usually all 4 drivers are within that 2,000 to 3,000 range or lower. So that one stood out to me, especially seeing that he went from 33rd to 8th last year.
Yeah.
And then the notables that I wanted to mention, Josh Berry is plus 2,250. He's a short track guy. He showed speed earlier this season, not so much here through the summer, but this past week at Indy, he looked like he had a little something.
Yeah.
So maybe they're starting to find some mojo over there. He's a short track guy. Plus 2,250 is interesting.
He's already got a win this year too, so he's in the playoffs.
Yes. He will be racing for some stage points.
Yep.
Or a stage win at least.
Right.
If he can get up front. I had to mention Christopher Buescher because I'm wearing a shirt. It's really not that notable of a odds, but plus 2,250 as well, same as Josh Berry. And then Ross Chastain is also plus 2,250. I felt like I had to throw him in there because he's got like some special Busch Light with corn on the side of the car paint scheme. Yeah. Feel like there might be some eyes watching him, and he's one of those drivers. He can surprise every now and then. He's going to be terrible, like he was at Indy.
Terrible,
but he'll also be very good, like he was in the Coke 600 this year. So we will see. But ready to make some predictions?
Let's do it.
Okay. We got 3 winners coming your way. I don't know how confident I feel about some of these, but we're going to go with it. Hendrick winner. Do you want to tell yours first or you want me to go first? I'm cool with whatever.
It don't matter. I can go real quick. I'm going to go with Chase, man.
Going with Chase.
I'm going with Chase. And I think he's, fighting with Willie B for that regular season championship. So yeah. I think that, teammates or not, I think that he's really going to be putting it together these last, few races before the playoffs start.
Yeah. Okay. I hope you're right. In my fantasy league, I took him in the first round this week.
There you go.
So, and I did that not so much because I think he's going to win the race. I had a low pick, but just because you're going to get a good, consistent finish out of Chase Elliott.
Yep. That
9 team. They'll most likely find their way into contention. He's won a few short tracks in the past, and he just finished 3rd last year, so it's probably a solid pick.
We'll see.
I'm going to go with Alex Bowman because those odds are so high.
Yeah.
I don't think I can ignore the plus 4,000 on a Hendrick car. Like you said, if we had Larson or Chase or Byron with those odds, we're taking them immediately.
Right.
We need Alex Bowman to live up to it this week. And like you said, it would be special to win his way into the playoffs.
Yep.
So we'll see. Again, I don't know how confident I am, but what I do see on my phone is he went from 33rd to 8th last year.
That's saying something.
If he can qualify better, maybe he's got a shot this week.
Yep.
Who was your non-Hendrick winner?
So I got 2.
Okay.
You're going to hate one of them.
I already know. I hate both of them, right?
One of them's your boy Denny.
Oh, yeah.
And Denny, I mean, it seems like that guy just gets better as he gets older. I don't know how he continues just to do it, man. But that guy, and he just signed a 2-year extension with Joe Gibbs Racing.
Yeah.
So, Denny was one of them. But just so you know, he was not my first. I wanted to mention him first, though, because I know you don't like him. But I'm going to go with last year's winner, Blaney.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ryan maybe gets it done again. He's kind of struggled this year, so I know he has the 1 win, but other than 1 win, he hasn't really done much. So he knows how to win at this track, so why can't he do it again?
Yeah. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of those picks, man. Good, solid picks there. With Denny, yeah, I do hate him, but I picked him a couple weeks ago in our NASCAR Fantasy League, and he won me the race.
There you
go. This past week, I told you when we were making picks for this race, I had a lower pick. I went with Chase Elliott, but just above him was Denny Hamlin. And I told myself if Denny dropped to me, I was going to take him regardless.
Yeah.
However, and I don't know why he fell to the pick in front of me. I think maybe just my entire league hates Denny Hamlin. It was kind of crazy for me to even have the possibility of getting him that late. But you're not wrong. I think I will take as my non-Hendrick winner his teammate Christopher Bell. And again, I'm not super confident in what the 20 car is doing right now. But he is Christopher Bell, drives for Joe Gibbs Racing. He got 3 wins earlier this year. He won the All-Star race at a short track. This guy can get it done. There's a reason he's so close in the odds to Larson. So, would not surprise me one bit to see Bell win.
Yep.
All right, who's your long shot then?
He's on your shirt.
Oh, let's go,
Mr. Busher.
All right.
I don't know. He's right there at the cutoff line for the playoffs as well, man. He needs a win bad.
Yeah,
so
he does.
He's I think that, I know his odds are, like a long shot, but I don't know. He's shown speed, and I think he's due. So I don't know. We'll see what happens there.
He's a proven driver. We know he can do it as well.
And also, real quick, I just want to touch that Bubba Wallace is plus 3,000 as he was for the Brickyard.
Is that right? Same odds.
Yep, he's plus 3,000 for Iowa, so we'll see.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay. All right, Busher, if he wins this race, I'll start next week's episode shirtless. That's how you lose all your viewers and all your listeners, right there.
Real quick.
Or you convert them from viewers to listeners.
I don't know. You could gain some weirdos too. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Watch him go out and win now, though.
Right.
All right. My long shot is much longer than Busher. And, I'm not trying to be a genius when I make these long shot picks. I'm doing it for the pod. I'm going to go with Austin Dillon. Sounds really strange, but this is another guy that has in the past, won random races. We've seen him make the playoffs in the past by winning his way in. And I know last year when he won Richmond, it was kind of tainted by everything that happened with that finish. He kind of wrecked 2 drivers on the last corner, which I loved. It's a funny feeling I got this week. And look, a lot of times my funny feeling is way wrong, way off. And that could be the case this week. But he's plus 15,000. So, $1 on him gets you 150. I'm willing to try that this week. We'll see.
There's what you call
I'm not rooting for
shot.
him by any means.
Yep.
But if it wins me that money, I'm going to be cheering for him damn hard.
You'll have a Ty Dillon shirt on next week.
I don't own one, but I'll have to find one. That's what I'll do. If Busher, no, I'm not gonna. I was gonna say I'll paint like a 3 on my chest or something.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. That's all. Any restaurant recommendations? Iowa. I've never been out there. I've never wanted to go out there, and I only have one note.
Is it McDonald's?
It's not a restaurant. It's just no. My note says, find some corn. If you're in the area, go eat some corn.
Yeah.
So you want to add anything there? No biggie if you don't.
I don't know that I can't get what I have here that's in Iowa as well. So
NASCAR fans, they're gonna enjoy some beer. They'll find a wing spot.
Yep.
And people, if y'all are listening and y'all do find some wings, let me know.
Yeah.
I'm a wing. Yesterday was wing day. I should have brought that up in the toast earlier.
There you go.
But all right. So here's what our weekend looks like. There's no trucks, but there is an Xfinity race on Saturday. That's at 4:30. It's on CW from Iowa. Hendrick does have one car in that race. It's going to be Corey Day in the number 17 car. I'm eager to see how he does. This is a short track. Feel like if there was ever a track for him to show up and perform at, this could be the one. We want to see a little bit more out of him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be interested to see. Like I said, Saturday I won't be watching it live.
Nope.
I'll be at Monster Jam. I'll be missing the baseball game and Corey Day. I'll just keep up on my phone. And then the Cup Series is on Sunday. That's at 3:30 on USA. I believe NBC takes over now for the rest of the year. So it's going to be on USA this week, but it should be the NBC crew that will be calling the race. I think Lee Diffie is back in the booth, so should be fun to hear some of those calls. And that is all that I have. Did you want to add anything else before we sign out of here?
No,
Not to put pressure on you.
No. I think that another good episode in the books for the Zip It Up Pod.
Yeah, thank you again for joining, because I mean it's easy to record by myself, but I hate doing it.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm just talking to myself in a computer screen.
Right.
So love seeing you over there, chatting it up about some racing. And again, really excited for the special week that this is going to be for you.
Yeah.
Excited to celebrate you this weekend. And I know that we'll probably have you back on very soon.
Yes, sir.
So just a little reminder for everybody else, couple weeks, if you are in the area for Daytona, that race weekend, we will be at the Oyster Pub on that Friday afternoon, 1 o'clock. That's August 22nd. I got to remember because I didn't write it down. But that's the fun that we got coming up. Besides that, we're going to keep enjoying some racing because we're getting really close to
Crunch
entering
time.
the playoffs. Yeah.
Crunch time for a lot of these drivers. There's only 3 spots left, so
Yep.
the pressure's
There's going
on.
to be some good drivers left out of the playoffs.
Yeah. But I mean, it's not just those guys that are right there at the cut line either that you got to watch, man. You got to watch, the guy that's in last place in the points right now. He wins, he's in, man.
Yep.
So
you're right.
I mean, these last 3 spots are anybody's right now. So it's definitely going to be some fun racing, I think, coming up in the future.
Agreed. We got some good weeks ahead of us.
For sure.
Well, man, we've been talking close to an hour. I've enjoyed every bit of it. But we will let the listeners skip on to their next podcast for today. So y'all enjoy your weekend, and come back next week. We'll have an Iowa recap, and then we'll preview whatever that next race is. I don't even look at the schedule anymore.
All I know is that I need to be in front of the TV on Sunday.
Yes, that's when I'll figure it all out.
Right.
All right, bro.
All right, bro. Appreciate
you. Have a
brother.
good one. Yeah, folks. Y'all have a good week, all right? Stay safe, whatever you do.
See you guys.